Hello friends, welcome to tutoringcluster.com. So here is a question number 71. The torsional rigidity of a solid circular shaft of diameter d is proportional to. Okay, what is torsional rigidity? Torsional rigidity is equal to what? G into J, which is equal to G into what is J? Pi by 32 d to the power 4. So basically torsional rigidity, which is equal to what? Gj. It is directly proportional to what? D to the power 4. D to the power 4. So asked in 2015. Let us see question number 72. A cantilever beam is deflected by due to load P. If load is double, then deflection compared to earlier case will be changed by a factor of. So basically this is based on what? Deflection of beam. Now there is a cantilever beam which is deflected by a load of magnitude P. So how the deflection for cantilever beam is given? What is the formula to calculate deflection, which is equal to PL cube upon 3 EI. Is it right? PL cube upon 3 EI. Now, okay. Now when load is double, it will be 2P into L cube upon 3 EI. So what will be delta 2? Delta 2, which is equal to 2 times delta 1. So basically if load is double, deflection will also get double. Next, 73. If a beam is supported on more than 2 support, it is called as. Okay. For example, let's say this is the case. Okay, let's say you are having a uniform distributed load and it is supported by more than 2 supports. Then it is called as what? Continuous beam. It is called as continuous beam. So in this case, you will be having reactions like R1, R2, R3, and this is the W loading. So such type of beam is called as continuous beam. 74. If the beam of constant section is subjected to throughout its length to a uniform bending moment, it will bend to. Okay. Let's say you are having a simply supported beam. Let's say you are having a simply supported beam. Now, it is given that it is subjected to throughout its length to a uniform bending moment. Okay, so basically if bending moment, okay, how it is going to bend? It is going to bend like this. So it will be what? It will be of circular, it will be of circular arc, right? So basically so if you solve it for R, you will get EI upon M, which will be equal to constant. Okay, so it will be bend in circular arc, right? Next, question number 75, asked in 2013. A uniform simply supported beam of length L carries a point load W at the center. The downward deflection at the center will be. So it's a simply supported beam which carries a central load W, length that is span is L. So what is the formula to calculate deflection? Deflection or Ymax. Okay, it will be WL cube upon 48 EI. Okay, this formula you have to remember. Okay, Ymax or delta. WL cube upon 48 EI. Next. 76. Longitudinal stress in a thin cylinder pressure vessel of diameter D, internal pressure P is given by. So two type of stresses are there. One is longitudinal stress, which is denoted by sigma L, and another one is hoop stress, which is also called as circumferential stress, which is denoted by sigma H. Now you have to remember the formula for both. Longitudinal stress is given by P into D upon 4T, while hoop stress is given by P into D upon 2T. P is pressure, D is diameter of pressure vessel, T is thickness. So what they have asked you? They have asked you about longitudinal stress. So what will be the correct answer? It will be option number C. But remember both the formula. Sometimes they will ask you what is the relation between sigma L and sigma H, or they will give you the values. So numerical, simple numerical can be asked. So very important formulas if you are thinking of giving any competitive exam, right? Next, let us see 77. Cylinder is said to be thin if thickness to diameter ratio is less than. Okay, so if thickness to that of diameter is less than 1 by 20, then cylinder is said to be thin cylinder. This is the definition. Okay, so the correct answer will be option number D. Next, 78, asked in 2014, the circumferential stress in a thin shell due to internal fluid pressure is given by. So just now we have seen what is the formula. It is PD upon 2T, right? '79, asked in 2015, what is the ratio of maximum tangential stress and maximum radial stress of a solid disc flywheel? Okay, now in case of solid disc flywheel, you have to remember tangential stress, maximum tangential stress is always equal to maximum radial stress. Okay, so this thing you have to remember. So the ratio will be equal to 1, right? Next, question number 80. The Rankine theory is valid too. So basically, Rankine theory is valid for both, whether it's a short column or long column. Okay, but when you will talk of Euler's formula, it is valid only for long column. Okay, remember both the point. Rankine theory is valid for both, whether it's a short or long column, while Euler's formula is only for long column. Next, 81, asked in 2008, the crippling load for both the end fix is given by. Okay, so crippling load, what is the formula? 4 pi square EI upon L square. Okay, so this is the formula to calculate crippling load if both the ends are fixed. Okay, see how I have reached to this. What is the equivalent load if both the ends are fixed? It is L by 2. If both ends are fixed. Okay, so what will be the correct Answer, it will be 4 pi square EI upon L square, C. 82. The effective length of column with one end fixed and other end free is. Okay, it is what? It is equal to twice the length. If one end fixed, other end is free, equivalent length is 2 times L. Next, a structure made up of several bar riveted and welded together is known as. So such structure is called as what? Frame, right? So a structure which is made up of several bars riveted, welded, it is called as frame. And what is significance of frame? It is having 0 degree of freedom. It is having 0 degree of freedom. Okay, remember this. Next, 84. The ratio of Euler's buckling load of a column with same parameter having both end fixed and one end fixed, other end is free is. Okay. Now when both the ends are fixed, when both end fixed, first condition, both end fixed. What is buckling load? How the buckling load is given? As it is equal to 4 pi square EI upon L square. Next, if one end is fixed and other end is free, okay, if one end is fixed and other is free and other free, at that time how the crippling load is given? It is equal to pi square EI divided by 4L square. So they have asked you the ratio. So PE upon PE2, you can call it as PE1 to that of PE2 is equal to, if you take the ratio, what you will get? You will get 16. 4 into 4. Other terms, I think it will get cancelled out. Pi square EI, it will get cancelled out. L square, it will get cancelled out. 4 into 4, it will be 16. Next. 85, asked in 2011. A machine part is designed as a strut when it is subjected to an axial tensile stress, an axial compressive stress, tangential force, any one of the above. So a strut is called a strut. Okay, machine part is designed as a strut when it is subjected to axial compressive stress. Okay, you have to remember in case of strut, it is always related to compressive stresses. 86. A Rankine formula takes into account which of the following? The initial curvature of column, eccentricity of loading, effect of direct compressive stress, the effect of slenderness ratio. Basically, Rankine formula it takes what? It takes the effect of direct compressive stresses into account. Okay, as well as it will take the, see, it is nothing but what? It is nothing but a crushing effect. See here, it is nothing but what? Crushing effect. Okay, so it will be related to what? Compressive stresses. Right? So basically, if you see, if you compare the assumptions of Euler's formula, Rankine formula. So apart from compressive stresses, other assumptions are same as that of Euler's theory. Okay, so correct answer is the effect of direct compressive stresses. Next, that is 87. The strut is defined as. How the strut is defined as? We have seen this. It consists of what? Axial compressive load. So correct answer will be D. Okay, just now we have seen strut is what? Which carries a axial compressive stress. 88, the ratio of equivalent length of a column to minimum radius of gyration is called as, it is called as what? Buckling factor. See, we know a slenderness ratio. Slenderness ratio. What is slenderness ratio? Which is also called as buckling factor. It is the ratio of equivalent length of the column to that of minimum radius of gyration. Okay. So slenderness ratio is also called as buckling factor. 89. A long circular cylinder has a diameter d, length l. The slenderness ratio of the column is. What is slenderness ratio? S. S is just now we have seen equivalent length to that of minimum radius of gyration. Now, how you can calculate R minimum radius of gyration, which is equal to square root of I minimum divided by A. For a circular cylinder, what is I? Pi by 64 d to the power 4 upon what is area? Pi by 4 d square. So what will be R minimum? It will be d by 4. It will be d by 4. So what is slenderness ratio? LE upon d by 4, which is equal to 4 LE upon d. Right? Question number 90. A structural member subjected to axial compressive force is known as sorry, it is known as what? Strut. Okay, so you can see number of times definition of strut has been asked, a very important one. For a helical spring, spring index is, okay, so basically when it's a helical spring, spring index, it is given as, you can denote it by K. Spring index, it is given as mean coil diameter to that of wire diameter. So mean coil diameter may be denoted by capital E, wire diameter D. So let us see the options. The ratio of mean coil diameter to that of pitch, no. The ratio of wire diameter, no. The difference, no. The mean coil diameter to wire diameter, okay. Option number D. Next, 92. Two spring of stiffness K1, K2 connected in series. What will be stiffness of composite spring? So when there are two springs connected in series, what will be stiffness of composite spring? So in case of series, how equivalent spring thick stiffness is given as 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2, which is equal to K2 plus K1 upon K1 K2. So Kc is equal to K1 K2 upon K1 plus K2, right? So correct answer will be option number D. And in case of parallel, it is what? K equivalent is equal to K1 plus K2. Remember this thing. So the last question from strength of material series, leaf spring are subjected to. So leaf spring, where it is used? It is used in suspension of automobile. Okay, and they are subjected to what? Bending stresses. They are subjected to bending stresses. Okay, so hope you have understood all the questions from strength of material. we have solved almost 90 plus question. I have given the explanation in detail. Hope this series will be useful for preparing not only SSCJ exam as well as other state competitive exam as well as GATE ESE exam. So please don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and please hit the notification bell so that you will get the notification whenever I am uploading the next video. So we'll start with thermodynamics in coming series. Okay, and please don't forget to share with your friends so that they will also get benefited with this. If you are liking my video series, please do comment so that I will also get motivated and I can prepare such type of video series which will be useful and free of cost, of course, for all of you. Thank you very much.